All right, people are coming on in. I see the numbers going up. They're moving. They're moving. Hi, Janaya. How are you?
Hey.
I feel like we'll do small talk until we get a few more people in
Oh,
the room.
Wednesday, everybody.
They're popping in slowly but surely.
hmm
Welcome to D-Free Wealth on Wednesdays, our In the Black webinar series. I'm Tamika Stembridge, your Executive Director of the D-Free Global Foundation, and I have my lovely co-host, Janaya Lake,
Hey,
and
everybody.
our Deputy Director, and Shonda, our real host. We're just here. We're supposed to be backstage, and now we're here on stage.
Yes, I want to introduce you all. Okay, well, I guess
No, go ahead. Go
Go
ahead.
ahead, do your thing. We back.
everybody, welcome to Wealth on Wednesdays. Today we are managing money with tools, tips, and apps. And we're excited because we have two special guests with us that are going to help us navigate that space. But we also have with us our Executive Director, Tamika N. Stembridge, who introduced herself, as well as our Deputy Director, Janaya Lake. Today, we want to provide some discussion and some guidance and some resources and tools addressing debt reduction, credit repair, financial management, and everything through recommended apps and websites. So, first, we have some housekeeping tips, as always. First of all, if you have any questions, we have a Q&A feature where you can put questions that will directly go to our hosts and our panelists. So please, if you have questions, put them there. But we also want to make sure that this is an interactive webinar. So come on in to the chat. We want to see you conversing with each other and speaking with us. So please, 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 we have people and our entire team is on hand, ready to answer the chat. So please, please, please do that. This webinar will be recorded and shared with every attendee. So if you miss a sentence or two, or you need a potty break, we're here. We're going to make sure you get it. Last but not least, we want to make sure that you fill out the short survey that we have at the close of this webinar. The reason being, we really value your feedback and it shows us how to better serve you. So please make sure you fill out the survey at the end of the webinar. At this time, I'm going to turn the rest of our time together into the very capable hands of Tamika N. Stembridge and Janaya Lake.
All right. Thank you, Shonda. Sorry I stole your role. I
That's
just
all.
have to tell you, I'm over here cracking up because Janaya has all these flourishing green plants in her background, and all I have is my lovely retired roses over here in the corner. But it's okay. I'm gonna do better. I actually like dried flowers. So that's where we're at. Sorry, we're almost a year into quarantine. And so I want to thank you all for sticking with us. I know it has not been an easy journey for us to be home, and I don't know. Part of me is thankful to be home. I'm a little scared to go out and play with people at this point, but I am itching to do something just outdoors really, really soon. But in either instance, I just wanted to make sure that we honored and recognized our audience and just thank you all for sticking with us throughout this webinar series. Hopefully they continue to prove useful. How you doing, Janaya? You back in the light? You is it
Same. Yep, Dallas is, we fared better than most of Dallas. So, we're blessed. My family's blessed that's here. So, but yeah, it's back to 70. I think the very next weekend of it being 1 degree,
wow?
it was 70 the very next weekend. So we're just plugging through. I'm like you, ready to go outside so I can start my walk routine again and get my exercise going on. But yes, super glad to be here. Wednesdays have been a staple with everybody. So yes, our audience is fantastic, and we find that a lot of these are actually being used recorded too. So, as Shonda mentioned, these are recorded and people can watch these, but we know people do follow these and look for the topics that are helping them. And hopefully, our goal is that we're always curating, things that are helping and answering questions for people out there.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, it's Women's History Month, and so we are actually getting a chance to celebrate ourselves and celebrate the women that are kind of leading the charge in the financial space. I feel like today's guests were partially intentional to that effort, but also want to acknowledge all of our women D-free leaders out there, and thank you all for being a part of the movement and leading the charge. You want to introduce our first guest? We have a lot to cover today, so we're going to dive right in.
We do. And, I thank you for letting me introduce Dorothea, because Dorothea has become my family. So she may tell the story, but we've known each other a couple years. She is dfree family, but I've had the pleasure to spend time with her in Charleston a few different times, and the great work that she's doing. So Increasing Hope Financial Education Center is an inspiration. One of our partners, Miss Dorothea Bernique, is the executive director, and one of my dear, I guess, dfree family folks, if I've been here long enough to have family. So welcome, Miss Dorothea. It's always great to see you and check in with you.
Well, good morning. Thank you guys for having me. Love you. You got it right. We are family. So I love you guys.
Listen, let me tell you something, Miss Dorothea. How you doing?
Just fine, Dr. Suarez. How are you
Happy
today?
New Year. Fine. Listen, next month I'm announcing. Hey, Tamika, how you doing?
Hi, how are you?
I'm so excited. Next month.
Right to it.
Next month, y'all, but especially Dorothea. I'm telling you, I can't believe you're here today. I'm announcing a program. I'm putting the pieces together now that will offer financing to people that will buy, fix up, and sell homes in our neighborhoods, right? And we're going to pilot it in a city. And of the top 5 cities on my list are Charleston, South Carolina.
Awesome.
And let me tell you why, because it gives us a chance. You're doing first-time home owning, home buying. And one of the challenges you have, and you've never told me, is one of the challenges you have is after you go through home buyer training and get your down payment, where on earth do you buy a house?
Yes.
So what we want to do, Dorothea, is we want to take this financing and create the houses for the people that you're training, and do it the way rich people do it, where they can literally pick out some of the finishes in the house, pick out the house, so that you're literally training people for a specific house of their choosing, and not just a house that you hope they can get after they finish the training.
Right.
So it's closing that gap in the pipeline. And I'm telling you, I didn't know you were on today, but I told the people that I'm working with, Charleston, South Carolina is high on my list because of what you do.
We are ready. We have partners here, Dr. Suarez. We have a $12,000 down payment assistance program going on right now with one of our banking partners. And we have already done 2 homes in our area, so we have experience. We just need the inventory because we know the need is there. Affordable housing is extinct practically. Right. And so to be able to create these properties for individuals, understanding what their situation is and bringing all the pieces of the puzzle together to make it happen, that is astronomical. I'm very excited about this.
Yeah. Well, what I've learned is that money helps expand inventory.
Yes.
When you have access to capital,
you
can create inventory.
Yes.
So thank you for hanging in there and doing what you do. And I'll be talking to you this month, and my webinar, I think the next webinar that I'm hosting in April, I think it's the second Wednesday in April, is when I'm hoping to make this, to have the people on, to have the partners on, and to roll it out and to announce the city. I don't think any city is better poised than your city because of you. Of you.
We're staying ready, Dr. Suarez. I'm gonna tell you, I got so much information and great things that are going on with Increasing Hope that I hope to be able to share today. It's all good stuff. God is expanding our territory here in Charleston. So this program and the opportunity to work with you is just another way that he's doing that. So thank you for thinking of us.
Good. Well, Tamika and Janiyah, good to see you. It seems like I've seen you every day this week.
We were just talking about that before we got on live, that we've been on Zoom. We can't remember if it's meetings, if it's events, or what we're doing at this point. We just Zoom is where we are.
Great. Well, y'all go ahead and have a great event. I'll be peeping in on you, but I've got to go. I'm trying to get your church to hurry up and set an election so that y'all can let me sit down. So there's Anscia from the West Coast. Hey, Anscia.
Hi,
Yep,
Dr.
you guys might
Story.
be there.
Yes, Lord. This MoneyLion thing, man, I'm glad you'll talk about it today. Uh, my investment account in MoneyLion is doing better than all of my other investment accounts.
I love it. I love it. And Dr.
Awesome.
Stories, I'll share with our audience. You're coming to the team live and direct from the dfree headquarters, it looks like. Is that our office?
Yes,
Your office?
yes,
Your
yes,
side of
yes.
the office?
Yeah, it's either too hot or too cold in here right now. So I'm
Oh,
hoping
geez.
they're working they're working on the heat. But yeah, and you wait till you see the studio.
Oh,
We
they're
can do
almost
our
done.
own. Oh, it's almost done. It's wonderful. All
Excellent.
right. Good to see y'all, everybody.
Good to
Have
see
To
fun.
see you too, Dr.
Thank you for
Suarez.
joining us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, Dorothea, let's dive right in then. Tell the people
Yeah.
what you do. What is Increasing Hope? Give our people the overview of Increasing Hope, and then we'll dive
Okay.
into the questions.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, again, thank you, ladies, always for the opportunity to be with you. I'm the founder and the executive director of Increasing Hope Financial Training Center. An umbrella overview of us is that we do our programs and services are geared to help individuals in our community build, gain, and sustain assets. And so our services consist of both personal money management, credit rebuilding, first-time homebuyers assistance and education, foreclosure prevention. We do small business training. We're in a season of free tax preparation. And as you heard, we also have done some work in the area of community development, rehabbing homes. And so that's our umbrella of services, asset building and creation within the local community.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. So I guess when we work with, you have been doing dfree for a few years now.
Yes.
How does that fit into the work that you've done? How have you been able to bake dfree in?
It has been an excellent marriage between the two, Tamika, because one of the things that it does is that as after we finish or as we're taking individuals through the dfree lifestyle, creating that lifestyle, that new mindset for them, when they have a need, which is to maybe address a credit need, we as licensed credit counselors are able to help them in that area. If they desire, after getting their finances together, to become a homeowner, we're able to walk them through that process. So it has been a perfect fit from the standpoint of being able to actually help individuals engage in the practical steps that they need to take as they're on their journey to financial freedom. And so a great opportunity with the partners that we have to continue to educate them with investing, insurance, and the other milestones and the other steps that we would like for them to take in reference to, estate planning. We are an agency that's here to do that hand-holding process and help guide them through going through that continuum that we show and that we talk about.
I love that. That's so exciting. I was gonna say that's one of the things I know the title today is like tips, tools, and resources.
Mm-hmm.
And I never want people to miss organizations like yours that are local in their area. And I know we'll share how everybody on can find organizations like yours, but one, this is, passion work that I used to do, supporting organizations like yours, but a lot of people in Academy, Tamika, when we have our chats and our live engagement, people are always looking for resources around. I have kind of, these things I'm trying to get my budgets together. These things trying to find resources and tools. How do, what do I use? What would you recommend I use? And we want to make sure that not only we share some of those tips and resources today, but organizations like yours that exist locally for them where they are located, no matter where they are in the country.
Definitely.
There tends to be. So I love that you shared all of the great work that you're doing, because most people can find themselves on the continuum, and then you have services that someone can locally help them with that's happening there. So when you are thinking of like tips and tools, when you help people, so if we start at like basics, like budgeting tips, what are some of the things that you find when people come to you that they're looking for resources, and what are some of the things that you're recommending that they do if they're just like, I'm getting started, I'm trying to get my budget and finances in order?
Right, right. Well, the first thing we recommend is, number one, understand what that income and outgo is. Okay, and the other thing that individuals kind of struggle over is, what tool do I actually use? There are so many out there, and so we always suggest number one, start with your local bank. Most banks now, right, in their online system will have a tool where they can monitor that income and the outgo and look and see what percentage is going into what category. So that's just an easy jumping off point that is readily available to anyone who probably has a bank account. And then of course, all of our online resources, the mint.coms and the various applications that you can use. We always tell individuals, use what fits you, your personality, your lifestyle. It doesn't matter. The tool itself is not as important as it is the concept and the principle of knowing where your money is going and knowing what you're doing with it and being in control. And so that my first money tip would be find what's comfortable for you, find the tool that will work for you. If you're not sure, start with your local bank, your bank account. They will probably have a tool that you can use. And then also entities like us, we have relationships with individuals. We will be launching a brand new tool that will be on our website that will help you integrate all of your accounts, monitor your credit, monitor your mortgage, everything. And so once again, knowing who is in your local area providing frontline services like Increasing Hope and other nonprofits is key too, because we also have tools that could assist in that area.
Excellent. And one of the things we share a lot, and you hit the nail on the head, find the tool that fits you, but also know that you don't have to use everything. I think it gets overwhelming. You have Mint over here, you got your local bank, you have, I'm not going to say don't use $1 Billion Challenge because that's the only one you can change without it affecting something. But just making sure that you find the suite of products and services that meet your needs. You don't, sometimes it becomes, for me, I get anxious. If I got money over here and I'm doing this over here and I'm doing that over here, it gets to be a little overwhelming. So you're right. You do have to pick the suite of things that make the most sense for you.
Definitely.
And even understanding your behaviors. You know, I'm big on like, we have to have that moment where you recognize your own behavior. I can't save money like my brother. He's very disciplined. He can do it. I need my savings not at the same bank. I need it directly from my check. I need it. I don't have a debit card on it. I get a quarterly statement. Just don't show it to me, and it grows. But I know I like to spend. So, you know, compare or ask somebody who has habits like you or behaviors like you, because what might work for somebody else, you can get really frustrated if that doesn't work for you, or you're failing because you didn't really choose something that fits maybe your behavior or the struggle that you might be having. So once you identify that, then you do have a whole range, and then, you know, it's really good to choose something that matches you.
Definitely.
So when you are also, what challenges do you see people really facing when they come and they're getting started, or what pitfalls do they kind of maybe encounter in the first, you know, getting started portion of it?
Well, besides because depending on their situation, I think the first thing that people a challenge is sometimes that feeling of overwhelmedness. Okay, just the fact of now they have, as we do in dfree, help them come into an awareness of and a knowledge of exactly how much debt do they have, what does that dollar amount look like, how many creditors do they have. They did their scavenger hunt, they brought all this information together. Sometimes it can be overwhelming to them. So that's the first challenge, is to overcome that hurdle. Those first responses would either it's to fight somebody, to flight, or to freeze. Let's overcome those first and realize that you're going to eat the elephant one bite at a time. So the biggest challenge is don't become overwhelmed. The next one is making sure that you identify exactly what it is you want your personal goal to be. What goals do you want to reach? Come up with your own individualized plan. Once again, like Janai said, not looking at what another person's doing, but what's going to fit you? What do you want to address, and what results do you want to get, and how quickly do you want to get them? So coming up with that plan, making sure, as we say in dfree, making sure they're counting the cost, making sure.
That's how you know Dorothea is true to the dfree principles and the dfree words. She speaks the language. She gets it. She said scavenger hunt. That is what step 2 and 3, where you're getting all your bills.
Exactly.
Talking about that on Monday.
Yes.
No, you're spot on. You are so spot on. And the overwhelm is real, because a lot of times it's the first time when people set out on their financial journey, they may have been looking at their income only, like, oh, I only make this much, or, you know, this is how much, you know, how much my rent is every month. They're not looking at the total picture. But I promise that total picture can be a little unnerving, especially if it's not a picture you are happy with looking at. But again, if you come to yourself and face it, that's the first step of really getting started and making things better. So you're totally spot on. I think I asked the question in the chat and I realized we have a poll today. So maybe we should just go to the poll because I'm asking similar questions. So our poll questions today, let's see.
What are your biggest success stories and how did they do it? So we just want to check in with the audience.
Yep.
Oh, how many of you use budget tools or budget sheets? Sorry, I said the wrong tool or the wrong poll question.
That's Dorothea's next question. So we'll talk about that in a second. But for the audience, how many of you use budgeting tools or budgeting sheets? Are you on a budget? Are you developing a budget? Are you aware that you need a budget but can't seem to get out of the gate? Or I don't feel like I need a budget? Come on, y'all. I feel like our audience speak today.
There we go.
All right. 75% is on a budget. That makes me feel really good. Really, really good. Developing a budget, good. And the last piece of knowing that you need a budget but can't seem to get out of the gate, we're going to help you do that today. Today. If you have a dfree workbook, I'm going to do a quick commercial. If you have the dfree workbook, I believe on page 34 and 35, there's a great budget template to get you started. If you don't have a dfree workbook, if you sign up for the dfree online class, you get a free copy of it. And so if you register for the course, you'll get free access to the dfree workbook, but it is a great place to start. You list out all your income, you list out your expenses, like what it costs to truly live. You list out your debts and then some of, your savings and your giving goals. And that really just helps you frame out the starting point of your budget. But really good. I feel good about the fact that most people have a budget and they're using it.
I would love to know too, even if you put in the chat or anything, how the budget feels. Because we do a little bit of work, even a little bit in depth about a budget. Sometimes budgets, and I know I can speak for me, budgets feel restrictive. I'm a little bit like Tamika. I don't like to be told what to do too much. So I have to set myself up that I'm happy about what I'm doing and not feeling like I'm restricting myself. So we do have some discussion, even within dfree, around budgets versus spending plan. I would love to see how people feel about their budgets. That most of our folks have one. Are you aligned with your budget? Does it feel good? Does it feel like this is torture? Looking at your budget, sticking to your budget, does that feel hard? I know folks are kind of quiet today, so I don't know how they're feeling about their budget. But Dorothea, do you encounter folks like that even they may have a budget, but because it might not be set up, that's allotting for them to have some lifestyle in there, or allotting for them to have some things that are important, family time or certain things that they do spend money on? Do you find that people struggle with that with their budget, or they don't normally account for that?
Well, on their own, they may not normally account for that. That's part of the work that we do, helping them identify exactly what it is that you're actually doing with your money, where it's going. And so one of the things that we encourage our participants with when we're working on that budget is put the rewards in there. Make sure you do not overcompensate for the goal of getting your finances in order, and then make this a miserable experience for yourself. It does not have to be that type of experience. We changed the name a little bit. We use spending plan for those that are the B word, the B word conscious. It's a spending plan. You're planning out how you're going to spend your money. That's all it is a spending plan. And so we use different words, different vernacular, change the mindset and the attitude about it. I introduce it as one of the most powerful things that you can do in your life, because now you get to be in control of telling your money what it's going to do versus your money telling you what you're going to do. And so if you want to be in a powerful position, get on that spending plan, start a budget, and it will change your life.
Absolutely. I actually started calling mine my monthly financial plan, because now there's other things in it. While spending is, I tend to associate spending with swiping or I'm going shopping. I don't consider bills spending. But when I'm paying things off, like everything's in there, my insurance payments in there, my retirement contributions are in there. And so I feel significantly better knowing that it's a holistic picture of where all of my money is going. I kind of feel fancy. I'm like, I have a financial plan for the month. But it's true. The more comprehensive.
I was gonna say, the more comprehensive. Because mine is called living your best life. I
love it. No, seriously, whatever works. whatever works. And if everything is
Exactly.
in there, it really starts to feel empowering. Our comments are really good.
Mhm.
Linda says she gets excited every month when she enters her tracking, especially when she's paid something off. And
Nice.
Connie says hers feels good. It helps her live within her means. Kate Perkins says sometimes her budget makes her feel free and restricted, but free at the same time, if that makes sense. No, it does. It does, because it gives you boundaries. So you know if you're
Yes.
going off the rails a little bit or if you need to pull back. But without it, you have no idea how you're trending. Nope, this is good. And Al says his budget communicates, he or she, I'm sorry if I'm saying this wrong. It helps them identify their goals and their priorities. Makes perfect sense. I love it.
Definitely.
That's excellent. So Dorothea, when we're sharing with folks, you know, local resources, you know, we always share you. I think we nationally share you sometimes. I think we send you folks from all around the country.
Right.
But a lot of what we want to do too is really empower people when they're looking for the different resources. So, you know, just like we mentioned earlier, there's some people that digital and apps and all of that work for them fantastically. But there are also some people that really would like a local person or a partner or someone that they can continually go to along the journey, because maybe they're getting their budgets in order, their money in order, but they want to own a home, or they want to, you know, kind of work their goal and look for a local partner. What are some of the ways that you help people find organizations like yours local to them?
Okay. Well, besides making sure, number one, that once they find us, we have networks and databases that list all of the nonprofits throughout the state. And so whether it falls under the umbrella of the HUD, the Urban Development for Home Ownership or Counseling, we can plug them into the national database there. We also can plug them into the state database here in reference to all the nonprofits listed for the various levels of service that they have to offer. And I can tell you, this is one of the areas where people who are not familiar with having human needs throughout the community, many times they will not know that these particular organizations even exist because they have never had this particular need before in their lives. And so that's, again, it's very important for them to realize to connect at least one organization, one facility, whether it's your United Way or a local nonprofit, that can then make you aware of all the other assistance that is out there. And that's one of the ways that we help people plug into being a resource ourselves and then being a resource for all the other resources that exist as well.
That's the beauty of the dfree network. You come to us, we're gonna figure it out.
Yes.
She does home ownership. So I'm gonna get you to her. She can get you to whoever
yes,
you need.
yes, yes.
I love
definitely.
it. Absolutely. I was gonna say, if I can just even add in commercial your type of organization, I think sometimes people will automatically assume, right, like a public service office or what that experience is like going there, because it is a nonprofit or because they are providing services. But I can just assure, like, the organizations are not those types of experiences. There's classes, there's resources. They curate partnerships that are in the community, much like Dorothea was sharing about the community banks and knowing who has down payment assistance and knowing they're such a resource, but such an expert in any of those topics that I can only just kind of commercial your organization in that way. Because I think I've heard a lot of people that say, I don't need to go to this nonprofit, and they kind of get this stigma like it's a service office and I'm gonna have to sit there for 2 hours like the DMV, and I don't want to trying to get services like that. And it's not at all. These are like such great resources. I don't think we even shared some of your exciting news, because I see you on Facebook about your SBA and your whole building. Like, this is a great time to just kind of commercialize as well.
Yes. Well, as I shared with Dr. Soares, we do have some amazing things going on. And thank you, Tamika, for allowing me to share that. Real quick, I'll go back. Organizations like ours are intermediaries or liaisons between institutions like banks and industries that are trying to get to serve the people, because they know we have that connection with the people. And so look at us as that in between, that liaison, but to help you get what you need, because they're coming to us and saying, we know you serve our people. We know you're out there doing the work. And so that's the connection that we can make. So I just wanted to briefly touch on that. And then as Janiyah said, we were just recently awarded to help expand our work in the Charleston area. We have been selected by the SBA as the next Women's Business Center. in the state of South Carolina. And so that is going to tremendously expand our ability to work with our minority women business owners in our community and throughout our state, on top of being inside of a building project where we'll be moving into our new building, hopefully by September of this year, where we will be able both to house Increasing Hope, our work in the community, a business success center that was already planned on being in there, and now the Women's Business Center, all in one building, one facility, with the dream of creating opportunity for those in our community, providing wraparound services for them within the community as we continue to help individuals move forward personally, with their families, in the community in general. So just ecstatic, just
Women's
ecstatic.
History Month. Women's History Month.
I love that. Continue
Yes.
making history. That's a big deal. That's a very big deal. And I applaud you and your leadership and kind of your steadfast commitment to the work. You know, you are the founder and the executive director. So this is like your dream that continues to expand. And I'll say, for any women or men on the line, if there's something on your heart that you're interested in doing, you know, really dig in. And I know this question isn't on the sheet, but what has kept you going? Like, when did you start Increasing Hope? What was I'm going to say your entrepreneurial journey, because it's a nonprofit, but it is very much a business.
Yes.
What has that been like for you?
Well, I describe it as, first and foremost, as an amazing, amazing journey, an amazing ride. It started in 2003, and I then incorporated as a nonprofit in 2005. And so our birthday age is running right along there with dfree this year. And for us in April, we'll be celebrating now 16 years of service, like you guys. And the journey, it has been, I would say, first and foremost, it has been for me a walk of faith. I know that this is what I was called and chosen to do, to serve others in this way. And the ability to remain steadfast in order to get to this point ties right in with our name, which is Increasing Hope, is that I had to continue to have hope, continue to believe, to stand fast in what I knew was being spoken into my heart in reference to building this business, because you're right, Janai, it's a business first. And that was the step that I took. And just remain steadfast and not allowed the naysayers around you to get into your ear too much, no matter how hard the journey. Again, I would just encourage anyone that if you know that you know that you know,
right,
you stand fast, and you will be sent individuals that understand your journey, like dfree and like Tamika and like Janaya, and board members and people in your community that will support you on your journey. So you don't have to do it by yourself. I want to encourage you, do not have to do it by yourself, because many times a journey like this, you will feel like you're alone.
Yeah.
And so one of the things I've purposed is, and I just got off a call before you guys, is to come along beside individuals who are embarking on the same journey. They know that they've been called to do something. They've been called to serve their community in some way. And that is to encourage individuals along that way. So much so, and I'm just putting this out there now, so much so to the niche that we're going to create in our Women's Business Center will be women of faith entrepreneurs, because it is an amazing journey. And we are not always understood, because we are saying we're doing things by faith. And I heard from God. But what I've understand about my own personal journey is it takes both. You have to have the works, the responsibilities. You do have to have your financials in order. You do have to have all of this. But what we need to do is learn how to bring them together as women of faith, and know that God will put his super on our natural, which means you got to do the work, and then you'll get the results. And I'm just so grateful to be experiencing what I am, which is having God now enlarge our territory, and I feel like bring blessings and a reward upon the work and the seed that has been planted for 15 years now. So thanks for allowing me to share that. I appreciate it.
That's awesome. It's Women's History Month, and we are literally witnessing history right here through your organization and through your work. I'm very thankful to have you as a partner. You're a huge champion for us in dfree. We come to you all the time. We need somebody to talk about dfree, to do dfree. We just appreciate it, and we're glad that our resources are a help to the people in the Charleston community. Increasing Hope.
We actually have a class going on right now. So
excellent. What step are you on? somewhere in
Last night we just finished 5, and so next week, next Tuesday will be step 6.
Excellent.
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 Well, thank you so much, Dorothea, for being with us. Janiyah, anything else? I know we have another amazing woman on the line.
Yeah.
If you can believe it, there's even more fire coming during the session today.
No, thank you so much, Dorothea. We'll bring you back on at the end in case there's any questions.
Okay.
No, it's always great to see you. So thank you.
All right. Thank you,
So
ladies.
much. All right. Well, next on the docket, since today is about tips, tools, and resources, Miss Anscia Brown, who I feel like is now kind of dfree by default at this point. She is the social media manager for MoneyLion, which is the financial resource app that we've been in partnership with for the last few years. I'll let Anscia do a real intro of MoneyLion, but thank you for being on with us and welcome to Wealth on Wednesdays. How are you?
I am good, and you? Happy Wednesday, everybody, and happy Women's History Month. Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you. So tell us a little bit about yourself and the work that you do for MoneyLion and a little bit about MoneyLion.
All right. So I do have a presentation, so I don't know if that would be
go for it.
So I can go through it, that I can talk about MoneyLion and about myself. I'm gonna give a heads up. I have a twang. I'm from DC, so if y'all can't understand something I'm saying, drop it in the chat. I have the chat pulled up, so I will see it. And I know we have a Q&A afterwards, but if there's any questions that you all have as I go through about talking about MoneyLion and financial resources we provide, please feel free to drop it in the chat. And also, I want to also congratulate Dorothea on an amazing job of what she's doing. So I would be remiss if I didn't mention that as well. So I'll share my screen. So give me 1 second, you all.
All right. I'm going to check in with the audience while you pull that up. Everything going well so far? Drop a thumbs up in the chat.
Yes.
Or let us know how we're doing. We're moving on today. All right. Oh, it looks good.
Awesome, you can see it. Perfect. All right, so hi everybody. My name is Anscia Brown. I'm a social media manager here at MoneyLion. And today we're going to talk about MoneyLion as a financial tool and an app that you can use to help you navigate your financial journey. And so to kind of give you an overview of what MoneyLion is, we are an all-in-one mobile banking experience. We're helping millions of hardworking Americans change the way they borrow, save, invest, and earn, all in one app. So to give you a little bit more insight about that, we like to say that MoneyLion is a financial starter kit for every hardworking American. And I'm adding the hardworking because every penny, dime, nickel you save into your financial freedom, your journey, your success story, it means something. And so having this financial starter kit allows you, we are with you along your financial journey. So if you're not too sure about where to get started on helping to improve your credit, we have an app for that. If you're not, okay, I don't know everything about investing, where do I start? We have a financial service for that. And so we really are there to help you along your financial journey, irregardless of how much financial literacy you have. And when you come to the dfree family, and then when you join the H.O.P.E family as well, you get even more knowledge on financial literacy. So this is just the cherry on top, so that things actually make sense when you're using a financial app. And so to tell you about what's all included in this all-in-one mobile banking experience, we have a checking account, which if you've been with MoneyLion for a little while, we used to be with Visa, and now we're at MasterCard. So I'll talk about some of those cool features. We have rewards, savings, loans, wellness through our financial heartbeat. We have 0% APR, cash advances, investing, and credit opportunities to build. And to rewind a little bit and talk about what MoneyLion is and how many people we've actually helped, our goal is to lower the cost of living and increasing the quality of life. Our founder, H.O.P.E, founded this organization in 2013, our company in 2013, excuse me. We have over 6 million plus members in our membership base. We've helped our members make over $14 million in rewards, which is money that's going back to you because you're actually doing healthy financial spending. We've helped our members save over $250 million in bank fees, and those overdraft fees add up. We don't do that there. We don't do this here. So, and our financial products are also FDIC and SIPC insured. And for those wondering, FDIC is Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, and then also SIPC is Securities Investor Protection Corporation, which all of those words say that your money is safe and is protected, whether it's in a bank or whether you're invested it. That's long story short about that. And so to talk about our first product is Roar Money, and it's truly banking that gives you more. As mentioned earlier before, we used to be with Visa and now we're with MasterCard. And so we have some really cool features. One of the cool features is that when you connect your direct deposit, you can get paid up to 2 days early in advance. So who doesn't want to get their payday? Like for instance, if you were getting paid this Friday, you'll be paid today. That's an awesome feeling to have, right? And it also just helps you in terms of budgeting, is the conversation we was talking about earlier. Like that really gives you an insight on how much you're actually budgeting up front. There's no hidden fees. There are no minimum balances. There's no ATM fees. We have over 55,000 ATMs across the country that you can use. And since we're also with MasterCard, it's a lot of cool features with MasterCard, but two of them is that because we're in a pandemic, you have access to a virtual card, which is awesome. So you don't have to spread any germs. And then also we have price protection. So let's say you purchase an item, because I know some people maybe get into a little bit of decor if that's within your budget. And so you want to spruce up the place a little bit. You got this couch, who's like, oh, this couch is awesome. And the next week you see it somewhere else and it's cheaper. With that, our MasterCard price protection program, it allows you to be able to get that refund back. So that, yeah, so like you can't lose on this. So we're looking out for you when you're asleep and you're not thinking about it. We're always making sure, like, again, it's really banking that gives you more. And we do have a rewards program, and I'll talk more about that later. Next up, we have our InstaCash, which is our 0% salary cash advances. You can get up to $250 anytime. It's zero interest. There's no credit check. It's honestly, I'm going to make this recommendation to use InstaCash when this is like the last resort. If you want to continue to promote healthy financial living, InstaCash is when you can't make the ends of the month meet. And it's like, okay, I need to be able to get this right now. And I don't know if there's anybody from Texas that's on the call. If you have been a MoneyLion member, we are actually helping out our local Texans. So due to all the crazy stuff that's been happening due to global warming. So if you are a MoneyLion member and you do need that assistance, we do have a promotion going on throughout the end of this month just to help those out a little bit more in need via InstaCash. All right, I am going to have to switch in between sharing so that I can share my next video. So give me 2 seconds.
Yes. And while we're doing that, I think some of the benefits you just mentioned, I don't know of any other traditional bank that offers any of what MoneyLion offers. And while you were talking, I was actually just going through my own MoneyLion account, and there are so many features in it that are really, really helpful. And I want to thank you for being transparent around the InstaCash feature. When I think, Janiyah, when we started working with MoneyLion, probably back in 2017, we started evaluating this potential partnership. One of the big things that was key for us was making sure that there weren't any predatory functions within it. And so, we talk a lot about payday loans and people being stuck in that cycle. InstaCash is an alternative to that. But again, the way Anscia said it, it is a last resort. It is something to combat the habit that people have of using payday loans to make ends meet. This is once, your check has been exhausted, your emergency fund is a little bit short, you just need literally, the tire just blew and you're right before payday, how do you, have that resource available to you? And so I think if it says anything about the organization and really wanting to help regular people, there are products and services baked into the app that meet the needs of regular people without the predatory components, but also with the education so you know what you're getting yourself into. And so I just wanted to say that as you switch over.
Awesome.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
Awesome. Thank you all. It makes me feel good to hear positive feedback. So it's just not me sitting on the stool screaming from the chair, top of the chair, just saying how great MoneyLion is. So I'm glad that we actually have some real testimonies. And so next, I want to get into our credit builder feature. So kind of give you an oversight with this video. And I hope you all can hear it.
A color, a number. I'm more than my credit score. But a low score means a closed door. Higher interest rates for cars and mortgages. Change is easier than we think. With Credit Builder Plus, a simple loan can build your credit. So we can all get to where we want to be. Green. Let's get to green together.
All right. That is not what I meant to click. My apologies.
America, start your engine.
So that gives you some insight into what Credit Builder Plus is. And so I'm going to share my screen back again. I'm so sorry. Keynote is not my friend today, so I will be going in between the screens. So thank you for your patience. And so talking a little bit more about Credit Builder Plus, we help you build your credit. If you are trying to establish your credit, if you're just trying to improve on the score that you currently have, this is the best package, one of our best financial services that you can use. You can get loans up to $1,000. You report all of your on-time payments to all 3 credit bureaus, which is extremely important. And that's also when you're looking into some of these credit builder programs, I'm gonna be honest, like if you're looking for them outside of MoneyLion, it's important to look to see, are you reporting to all 3 credit bureaus? Because then you're gonna get 3 different scores. And then one score may be higher than the other because that credit builder program may be only submitting to, let's say, Equifax for that example. So what's so unique about our Credit Builder Plus program is that it does report to all 3 credit bureaus. And then also some of our members has reported now that they've seen their credit score increase by 42 points within 60 days. And I do want to note in terms of credit, that credit is something, I know we talk about this on the dfree MoneyLion Pioneers program every week, but finances in general is something that you have to work with and be steady with and committed to. It's not going to happen overnight. That's the same when it comes to your credit score. Yes, you may have paid off that loan this month, but it's not going to take a credit bureau. It's going to take them maybe like at least 1 to 2 months extra plus, depending on the bureau, to be able to say, okay, yeah, this is actually paid off. So I do want to note that, but that is a cool feature that we have through MoneyLion to help you improve your credit. And you can also save while you build as well. And then I'm going to stop sharing and then share another video. And thank you all for this patience.
No, this is really good. Very, very, very helpful. This is not your traditional bank, as you can see. There's lots of graphics, lots of interactive features, and it's a really, really fun tool to participate in. I don't know what the next video is going to show, but I won't steal your thunder. I'm playing with MoneyLion.
It's investing, so you might steal my thunder right after this, but that's okay. That is a-okay. All right. So this is talking about our investing capabilities, but this is one of our cool features called Auto Invest.
I love that. Very cool.
All right, so that is all about Auto Invest. And give me 1 second to pop out of this screen and then go back to my presentation. And there's like one more video after this. So thanks again for bearing with me, you all. All right. So to talk about our investment capabilities, there's a lot that's included here. Our investment capabilities basically allows you to invest like the 1%, like, but only easier, way cheaper, like it's super duper affordable. To give you a high level, our investment capabilities are powered by Wilshire and Global X, which is what like the 1% have access to manage their investment portfolios. I do want to add the note that I know some people are like, investing, that's a lot. How do I know which stocks to invest in? Like, I don't really know. I don't understand how the stock market works. You don't have to worry about that here with MoneyLion. You don't have to have any kind of investment understanding. We really, and we got a chance to walk through this last week, we really take you by step to say like, hey, like, do you want to, are you kind of risky a little bit in terms of, you know, how you want your portfolio to go, or do you really just want to go slow and grow over time? So we really want to make sure you completely understand what you're investing in, and it starts all with just $5. The auto invest capability that you saw is really unique because you really just get to set, like the video says, set it on autopilot. You don't have to think about it. Before the pandemic, I know we probably went to Dunkin' Donuts, Starbucks, all those good places to grab a cup of coffee on the way into the office. And so since you're home for some, if you have a coffee maker, that's awesome. You're saving money that way too. But now on that $5 Starbucks, which I'm pretty sure if you multiply that by 5, you may be spending about $20 to $30 a week. Now you can start investing at least one of those Starbucks drinks a week with the auto invest capabilities, whether you want to do that a week, weekly, bi-weekly, once a month, however you want to set it up is really up to you. And the cool thing about this is not only do we walk you through this entire process, but we also introduce 3 different thematic portfolios, and we're continuing to add more this year that allows you to be able to invest in things you care about. So we have 3: Earn and Grow. We have Future Innovation, which allows you to invest in technology. And then we also have Greater Good, which allows you to invest in socially responsible stocks in the stock market. So I don't know if the dfree family has anything that they want to add to that. And I know we're coming up on time, so I'll speed through really quick and I won't show my last video, if that's okay.
Absolutely. No, I think the investment feature is really, it's a great way to get started. Just like Anscia said, $5 a week, $20 a month, however you want to set it up, and it'll pull it directly out of your MoneyLion account and invest it immediately for you. And for the most part, all of your money goes to the investment. I haven't seen any fees yet. I haven't seen anything wild, but you can really watch and monitor your money to grow. I would suggest it even alongside of doing your debt reduction plans, doing your emergency savings, because it's such a low cost to entry. I think it is a great way to almost think of it as initially kind of high powered savings, because the return could be significantly greater than a traditional savings account. But I'll also say your money is still fairly readily available. So God forbid you did need to pull it out, you can literally move money between your investment account into your MoneyLion checking account and out to do what you need to do. Not that I advise that that's what you do with your investment account. However, I know that, initially that could be one of the reasons why people don't invest right away, is that they can't afford to have their money completely tied up. But $5 a week, or $20 a month shouldn't really hurt you. It really is a great approach to getting started. It shows you where your money's invested. You can watch the growth. You can watch the market up and downs. So it's really a great opportunity for you to get started. We did have a question about people actually joining, and I actually dropped the wrong link. I just dropped mydfree.org/dfree, and it should be moneylion.com/dfree. We'll make sure that we drop the link in for you all to get started. I think we have, Jay, we should be up to Q&A now.
Yeah, we'll open Q&A. I was just going to share, we're going to put a couple different articles in the chat, because one of the things we wanted to make sure that we shared today is that when you're going through dfree, and just in response to a lot of questions, once people identify those behaviors like we're talking about, right, or they identify where maybe they're needing to give a little attention, once people identify, I might be having a difficulty with overdraft fees, we want to showcase that there are options and things that once you identify, the key is you identify it, then you build the services and the suite of products like Tamika mentioned that help you solve for that and get those things in order. So we had so many topics that we do talk about in dfree, overdraft. We have options to help people, if they're in that cycle of payday loans. I didn't even really bring up any of the stats of like payday lending, but if you need options, or, some of the things you go through early in dfree is like identifying what your loans look like. And can you lower those interest rates? Can you use other products that are saving you money, and how you budget? So we just wanted to make sure we have all of our different tools, and then showcase some of our partners, why we have these types of partners that can help you. So they do go hand in hand. Once you identify, we want you to identify what you want to solve for. And that way you don't have to worry about like, I'm just going to try over here. I'm just going to try over here. I'm just going to try over here. You can then go ahead and build the suite of products that are helping you manage your money. So I think that that's great. And they both showcase so much options in helping you find those things. So we are dropping a couple of articles that showcase, just different budgeting tips like that. Of course, we're partial to both of these ladies organizations because we've tried them. I love the education components of MoneyLion, and just coming from banking previously, who had many years as the manager where everybody came to my desk about their overdraft fees. And so just seeing that alone, knowing how that's plaguing families or people that are just struggling, it's not always, we always think it's, oh, people that are just doing whatever and mismanaging. They're just people that life is really, you know, sometimes got them in a situation and they overdraft by mistake. And then if they do, it tends to be a snowball. And so, you know, really having resources that help people stay out of those pits or getting out of situations that they might have gotten in.
Absolutely.
Sean is back on. That's my cue to be quiet so we can get to some Q&A.
We have a hot chat. So first I see a question from Joyce, and it says, how do we become a part of the MoneyLion Pioneers weekly sessions held on Thursdays?
Yes. Tamika, I think I'm not too familiar with everyone's email addresses, but if someone from the dfree family could reach out, then we can definitely add them and send them an invite. So we have a session tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Email us at info@mydfree.org. We actually were probably on our 9th week now, so we're coming towards the end of the actual program, but I think it is helpful if you're just interested in learning more about MoneyLion to join the Thursday webinars. So shoot us an email and we'll get you the link to tomorrow's Zoom.
I think we're coming near the end of this 12 weeks, but they're definitely getting information on if we do another one. So yes, absolutely. If you're interested, you would like more info, we can give you all of that. Please reach out, even if you want to prepare to maybe join the next 12 weeks too.
Right.
See another question here. It says, can you buy individual stocks or is it portfolio based?
It is portfolio based. So you don't have to worry about figuring out if you want to buy GameStop or McDonald's this week. It's based off of that. And it's actual humans that are looking at this too. So it's not any robots that are just like, here, this is your portfolio. It's actual humans that are looking to get the best bang for your buck in your investment account.
Yeah. I forget what I was watching, but someone compared the GameStop situation to, traditional investing. It was like, if you are banking on another GameStop, that's gambling, not necessarily investing. And so our goal is, while we do encourage you to look at the stock market and pay attention to what's happening, if you're really committed to creating a longer term investment strategy, this is a great way to do it. It's not the only way to do it, but it's an easy point of entry with real people that are actually going to be managing the investments for you, so that you have a better opportunity of actually making money long term, as opposed to trying to get in and get out really fast. It takes a certain level of commitment and real attention to detail if you're looking to do like day trading and really trying to play with the stock market. We want you guys to have a plan in addition to whatever you're playing with. And so I think this is a great way to position yourself for that.
This is a long-term plan.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I just wanted to add, from the standpoint of being at one point an investment advisor, this is the best way. This is the safest way. And this is the most even economical way from the standpoint of, again, as Tamika says, having that entry level, because there's safety in this. There's safety in that format of portfolio versus individual stocks.
Absolutely.
Thank you. So in honor of Women's History Month, since we have such dynamic women on the screen, can you give our women a 30-second tip just for finances or even their personal life or how to get ourselves together, just specifically for women? So 30-second tip. And we can start. I see Anscia shaking her head. So Anscia, did you want to go first?
That's tough to do a 30-second tip. I think for me, especially during the pandemic, is really trying to find cost-efficient ways for self-care. I think the internet glamorizes it, and you need to go to a spa, you need to pay for this, you need to have I do drink a bottle of wine and all this other crazy stuff. And I think like small stuff like getting a tea scrub or a salt scrub just to make sure like that's part of your daily care routine, or, trying out different hair care products at work or natural stuff. I think for me, finding like really cost efficient stuff that you can actually spend time with yourself. I'm really good at, I'm really into like personal wellness. And so trying to find things that make you feel good and bring you joy and, make you whole. So I would say that's probably one of mine. And so I can definitely tell you the thing that I do spend $5 on twice a month is a good salt scrub. So I can just make sure I exfoliate and I feel good about myself when I get out the shower. So yeah, small stuff that doesn't cost too much that brings you joy during the pandemic.
That's a great one. I was actually going to point to my $3 bottle of nail polish, since I am absolutely terrified of going to a nail salon. But anyway, I guess I'll go next now that I'm talking. I would say just take care of yourself holistically and give yourself grace. I think Anscia's response, leading with self-care, is really important. We live in a financial space all the time with dfree, and while it can be high pressure and really intense to think about. I think we all owe ourselves a moment to just kind of step back and look at the fact that you just survived an entire pandemic. You have a place to live. Your family, hopefully for the most part, is okay. And just really take a holistic approach to life. It could be spending more time with your family. It could be taking advantage of the fact that you're in your house. Maybe there's a room you've been ignoring or a closet that you need to clean out. Just really appreciating the holistic aspect of your life and not focus so hard on the thing that you think is giving you trouble. That's what I would say.
Dorothea, you want to go next?
Awesome. And I think both of those ladies are absolutely great. And in trying to say or figure out, I think, and this is based on a conversation I just had yesterday in reference to, I would say, make sure and take time to understand yourself, know yourself, so that you're not attempting to be an imposter of who you truly are based on what you see. Get comfortable and with yourself of who you are, who God has created you to be, your strengths, and take ownership of them. Take ownership of them and in just being yourself. So understand yourself, take ownership, walk in it confidently, and then know that there is always hope. I always have to give that. You ladies don't have to throw that in, but definitely just being confident and comfortable in your own skin with who you have been made to be.
Yes. And Janaya, you're up next. Last but not least.
Sorry, we hit noon here where they test the tornado warning. So first Wednesday of the month. Mine is, I promise you, there is no financial situation, experience, anything that anybody is in that has not happened. So sometimes financial stress is one of the biggest stresses outside of health. And I think sometimes when we talk to people, to Dorothea with H.O.P.E, I think a lot of what dfree does, you're not alone. And so I know sometimes we think, oh, I messed up this. If only I wouldn't have done that. I'm in this scenario. Or even just, I don't know where to start. So it doesn't even always have to be negative. It's just, I don't know anything about investing. I don't know anything about, and I kind of frozen with decisions because I don't even know, and it's risky. I don't have much to risk, right? I don't have savings to risk. So you're not alone. That's all I can say. Everybody's scenario, I've ever talked to them. If you've messed up your credit, you can fix it. If you don't have savings, you can start. If you didn't invest, you can start. You can begin, and you can do it in a way that's safe, that helps you step right along. And so I just encourage people, because it can feel daunting or like you should know all the answers or you should know what to do, whether it's negative or positive, that there is nobody that's ever not done it already.
Absolutely. You're not alone. You can get started. And that's why we're here to help. And you're in the right place to get help.
Well, ladies, that was very, very encouraging. I'm sure our brothers also received some help from that. And we thank you so, so much for just taking the time to give us those short tips that can be useful and add value to our lives. And so at this time, I think that tornado warning was our warning that it is time for us to head out. So we just want to make sure that we thank our panelists. Thank you so much, Dorothea, Bernique. It's always good to see you. Anscia, we love you and thank you so much. As always, leading the charge, Tamika and Stembridge and Janaya Lake. We love you as well. We want to encourage you, if you're not already involved, to make sure that you check out our academy. This is for existing people. If you're new to the academy, we want to invite you. If you are already a part of the academy, invite somebody else. Our next cohort is coming up in April, and we look forward to seeing you there. If you would like to contact us, feel free to reach out at us. You can reach us at info@mydfree.org. If you want to reach Dorothea directly, her website is www.increasinghope.org. That's increasinghope.org. If you'd like to reach Anscia at MoneyLion, their website is www.moneylion.com. Just as a reminder, our Wealth on Wednesday webinar series is continuing next week with a pastor session with Dr. Soares titled Faith and Finances. As our last little reminder, please be sure to complete the survey at the close of this webinar. We value your feedback. Again, thank you so much, ladies. Thank you for my extra 2 minutes. God bless everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Have a great
Bye-bye.
rest of the week. Take care.
Right. Take care.
Bye-bye.